For the best Italian food in Western New York, Elliot Apollos, call 716-825-3675. The Lardon Construction Group.
Fubo TV, the official streaming service of Do Champions. FanDuel, the official sportsbook of Do Champions.
For all your summertime needs, beauty pools, as well as kayak pools.
CX Chronicles, your total customer solutions focused manager. W.GG, the official energy drink of Do Champions.
Hey, Sons of Erie, our artwork looks better on your walls. Hamburg Brewing, please visit our tap room on Boston State Road, Hamburg, New York. And finally,
Fat Boy Surf Club for all your surfing needs.
No One to Blame is sponsored by Altered Grounds Landscaping, the area's top professional landscape company. They're family-owned and operated business serving St. Louis and the Metro East for 20-plus years. Their mission is to make your home or business stand out from the rest. They offer free consultations year-round. Get $300 off your project of $3,000 or more with code AGNOTB. That's code AGNOTB. They're booking pools for the upcoming summer season. So if you are having any thoughts about getting a pool for this upcoming summer, stay ahead of the game and contact them now for any of your pool project needs.
There's no one to blame, there really is no one to blame. But I swear to God, it's my fucking fault. It's a better sports podcast. It's my fucking fault, but there's no one to blame. Neffy Kevin do. Neffy Kevin do.
Do it.
Kevin
Don't
do.
listen to what I say or whatever kind of peer pressure I'm telling you.
Do it.
Oh, fucking do it again.
Do champion sucks. No one to blame. No one to blame.
I know there's really nobody to blame for this but myself. Well, I don't know, maybe the Buffalo Bills, the Boston Red Sox, or Mr. T, or the Jets.
Wait a minute, Mr. T, are you telling me that you bet on the fight in Rocky 3 and that you bet against Rocky?
Hindsight is 20/20, my friend.
Welcome in. No one to blame. Hindsight is 2020, and I hope that he bet on the Buffalo Bills today, baby, because it's game day, baby. Kev, I am juiced up, brother. Juiced up. How you feeling?
I'm not a Bills fan, but as you like to say, God hates Jags. Well, everybody but the refs hate the Chiefs. So
There you go.
Go Buffalo. Got my red, got my blue, got my white on.
Company man. Appreciate it. Company man. We
Chiefs.
appreciate the support. We appreciate
Yep.
the support. Welcome in. No one to blame. Brought to you by Do Champions Media. Make sure you're following Do Champions, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, putting out all of our awesome content. Check out Coast to Coast on Wednesdays, Third and Manageable on Fridays, Buffalo Blueprint on Saturdays, and No One to Blame every Tuesday and every Sunday. Kev, I'm juiced up, man. I'm pumped.
Bills by $1 billion from Becca.
Bills by
There
$1
we go.
billion from Rebecca coming in from the top
Here
rope.
we go. Let's go.
Shout out Casino Miguel in the chat. Let's go. It's game day. This won't all be a Buffalo Bills show. It's a gambling show. First and foremost, we have two games to talk about. We're going to be talking about them in order. Thoughts and prayers to Jake. Jake is out with a fever. Jake's been sick for a week, I think. Hopefully he's got an IV drip at this point. Hopefully he's watching. Jake, we miss you. We love you. We'll be giving out Jake's plays for him today. We got his graphics all dialed in. Kev, before we dive into football, man, if you follow me on X, _Neffy, I've been heating up college basketball. Casting a wide net as per tradition last night. We had 36 games that I gave out. Now, to be fair, there is, I think, 160 college basketball games on Saturdays. Something absolutely insane. I feel like I held restraint. I only took picks on 36. So, hey, shout out me, man. New year, new me, showing restraint. I went 20-15-1. We will take it. Updated record for the year, 111-98-1. About a 53% winning percentage. Not bad. Not great. Not bad. We started the year really slow though. We're heating up though, man. 12-9, 12-6, 5-1, 20, 15-1. We're getting it going. So we're going to be stepping up our college basketball game. Make sure you follow us at do_NFE on X, at Kevin3E2. Make sure you're getting all of our plays, all plays published, posted. Don't at me. We do not do this for clout. Kevin, I'm also going to be starting talking about some golf, brother. I joined a golf league. Very interesting format. Not playing. My back's too bad for that. But is today Jake's flu game with the bets? It is, Don. Shout out, Don. It is Jake's flu game. Jake's going to have a tremendous day today. But Kev, I joined this cool golf pool. So you could take a golfer no more than 2 times throughout the year. You have to pick a golfer for every tournament. And the golfer you pick, his winnings go into your tally for the year. The person with the most winnings at the end of the year wins. I think it's an awesome format. So on Tuesday's show, I will be talking golf in the upcoming tournaments. Guys, I like one of my favorite bets in golf, top 20 bet for some of these longer shot guys. We hit a couple weeks ago, guys that you've never heard of. I'm not going to go into great details, Kev. But we're here to do one thing today, man. It's conference championship weekend, conference championship Sunday. We're all juiced up. Let's get into our first game, man. Commanders at the Eagles, 3 p.m. at the Link. Last I saw, I had Philadelphia laying 6 points, minus 275 on the money line. Washington +6, plus 230 on the money line. I saw an over-under of 47.5, shaded to the under. Thoughts on this game, Kev?
Yeah, I'm rolling with Washington in this +6.
Okay.
I've actually got I think I've got a parlay with Bills money line and Washington money line in there also. Hey, these games that everybody knows what Philly's going to do. Philly's going to run the football with the running back, with Saquon. They're going to play defense. They're going to get after him. You know what you're getting.
Yeah.
They're good at it, but you know what you're getting. Washington's kind of a wild card in the fact that, they run the ball well. They got a couple different backs. Brian Robinson, Eckler catches out of the backfield. But, dude, Jalen is a wild card. Jaden Daniels is a wild card. And when you got a guy like that in these games, like, dude, hey, just let's play. Let's see what he's got. So I know he's a rookie. I know, like I said, Philly's defense is going to get after him. They're going to cause him to make some mistakes. But I like the 6 in Washington in this game, and wouldn't shock me if they won outright.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, man, I'm on the Eagles. This is just the better team. When Jalen Hurts played last time, these two teams got together. They won by 8 points in Philadelphia, 26-18. The last game that they actually played, Jalen Hurts got hurt, no pun intended, and they lost by 3 points with Kenny Pickett. I don't think that Washington's defense is going to be able to hold up. Detroit scored 31 points last week and had 5 turnovers. Okay? Let that sink in for a minute. That is crazy, dude. I thought Detroit, dominated that game. Score not indicative, but all the metrics say Detroit should have won. Obviously, it's hard to overcome 5 turnovers. Detroit did it against Houston earlier in the year. But Jaden Daniels outside now in the elements a little bit. I mean, this Commanders team they had shades of the greatest show on turf, dude, last week, right? Well, they're coming outside now. They're coming to the Link, dude. They're going to get harassed. It's not going to be a good day for them, I think. I think Jaden Daniels could find some success. I think Philly's going to be too much, man. And I really like this Philly defense. 2 things that win you championships, man. If it's not quarterback play, right, you got to be able to run the ball, and you got to have good defense. And Philadelphia has the best defense out of the remaining 4 teams.
Yep.
So that's what I think is going to happen today. But let's go into our best bets, dude. Let's pull up Jake's best bets. We'll go through Jake's first. Jake, we miss you. So Jake on the Washington side, he likes Austin Eckler over 25.5 receiving yards. He likes Diami Brown over 42.5. That's got to be receiving yards. He's got rushing yards on there. He's got the flu. Don't add him. And Zach Ertz over 3.5 receptions. I like the Eckler. I think it might be a Zacchaeus. I think they're going to fake
back on it.
Fake. Yeah, I think we're back on the Zacchaeus this week.
Back on the Zacchaeus.
I really do like the Ertz over 3.5 receptions, though. He seems to be Jaden Daniels' safety blanket.
Yeah.
You got thoughts on those bets?
Yeah, so I'm kind of the same. I like Eckler. I like that. I like the Ertz. Diami Brown, I don't know. It could go, like I said, the three receivers
Starling,
they got. I would pass on that one, but yeah, I'd like 2 of the 3.
So the reason that he went for Diami Brown, he's hit this number in 3 out of the last 4 games. He's actually went for 56, 89, and then he went for 98 against Detroit. Long of 42, 30, and 51 respectively in those games. So maybe look for a Diami Brown over longest reception. That's probably in the high teens if I had to guess. That's a play that I would definitely back right here. I think it's going to be a Zacchaeus game though. He played well last time against Philadelphia. Love Ertz over receptions. Yep, we're with you there, Mike. That 3.5 seems way too low in my opinion. On the Eagles side, he's going back to the well with the Kenneth Gainwell over 8.5 rush yards. We were on this last week, and I think it was 9.5, and I think he got to 10. Snow game, I expected him to get a little bit more touches last week. He didn't. But Gainwell, let's see. Yeah, he got 10 last week, 14, and then 14 the week before. He only needs 1 or 2 carries to get this, which that's all he's really been getting is 1 or 2 carries. He had 11 totes against the Giants, but I just think that's because didn't they rest Barkley in that game?
Yep.
Yeah, that's right. And he only got 11 totes, so they're not giving him the rock as much as we had hoped for. But that number
playoffs are here.
Yeah.
Playoffs are here. Barkley's getting the rock. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, man. It's do or die at this point. The only thing is if they're up, and they give it to Gainwell, Barkley needs a rest, right? Give it to Gainwell then. So I think that number is low. I love playing that number. Now, Barkley over 13.5 receiving yards. Jake went for. Barkley went 4 for 27 last week in the snow game with a long of 16. He has the ability to rip off these long runs or these long catches at any point in the game, dude. He can make something out of nothing. That number is just way too low, in my opinion. Again, if you look at his totals, 9, 0, 2, 4, and then 27 last week, it doesn't really reflect it. But if you go back a little bit earlier in the season, he had a nice stretch here. 40, 12, 52, 47. I mean, the last time against Washington, he went 3 for 52, and he had a long of 43, right? So everything that we just talked about. Washington has struggled against running backs. Gibbs had a monster game last week. I think Gibbs went for like 170 all-purpose yards last week. I mean, Barkley, better running back than Gibbs, right? And I'm going long-winded on Jake's picks here, but
yeah, no,
I'm leaving it all out there for him.
I like the Barkley. I've got that in mind, I believe. We'll see here in a second. And then Gainwell, dude, with a number that low on a team that's going to run the ball, even though he doesn't get a bulk of the carries, especially in a playoff setting.
Right.
Dude, he gets 2 carries in that game. With that O-line, he could probably hit that number. So yeah. I'm okay with that one too. All
right. Let's see what you got, Kev. Ooh.
All right. So on the Washington side, we talked about a little bit. Commanders +6. I like this to be a close one, maybe low scoring. Brandon Robinson Jr. over 36.5 rushing yards. I know Phillies.
Robinson?
Brian, what did I say? Brandon Robinson? Brian Robinson Jr. Brian Robinson Jr. I'm all over these names today.
B-Rob.
Jalen, Jaden, yeah. Brian Robinson Jr. over 36.5 rushing yards.
Okay.
Philly's defense is good against the run, but he's going to get his carries. On Only thing worries me if they start throwing it a little bit, but
Kev,
I
let's
doubled up
let's
here.
Hang on to that one real quick.
Yep.
Against Tampa Bay, he went 10 carries for 16 yards. Now,
Jeez.
last week, he had a little bit more success. He went 15 for 77 and 2 scores versus Detroit. But I would say this Philadelphia run defense is more similar to Tampa Bay. Does that worry you at all?
It does a little bit. Just because, like I said, you talked about Philly's defense is the best defense left. I think Commanders are going to try to stick to the run as long as they can. So
yeah,
maybe he gets a little more care, a little more touch than he has been. We'll see. But yeah, that is a worry.
I feel like
I just thought the number was low. Thought the number was kind of low, a little low.
It is. You're definitely playing a number here. I mean, it's not. Yeah, I mean, you're not take away. Just that's a low number for a lead running back in the NFL.
Yep.
The thing that worries me is I think Philly is going to have very long drives. I think they're going to try and keep Jaden Daniels off the field and let their defense kind of play a little bit. That's what worries me. And if Washington's down, I think they're going to get away from running it. That's the only thing that worries me on that one. Just talking through them.
Yeah.
Let me just shit out on your whole bet, Kev.
Hey, we're good. We're good. Expected. We're good.
That's what we do here.
Yeah. Finishing off the last two Washington here. I added this last one on. I kind of double dipping here. Do not bet Monmouth.
Student in the basketball. Chat. I'm assuming he's talking about basketball. I played the Monmouth over.
That was from your hoops. Yeah, that was your hoops bets.
Yeah. Shout out, Student. Sorry to interrupt you.
So, I kind of doubled up here. I added this first TD for McLaurin plus 1,000. I just liked it. I was searching back through there late yesterday, and I'm like, I'm going to toss this in here, even though I already had a anytime touchdown at plus 129 for him.
Terry McLaurin has scored a touchdown in 4 out of the last 5 games, Kev, including both playoff games. He's went 7 for 89 and 4 for 87. Longs of 35 and 58. They're going to be trying to get him the ball today.
You've got to get some shots down the field with him.
Yes.
They're going to have to, because they're not going to be able to grind out and against that Philly defense. They're going to have to take some shots, get a couple, hope for some big plays in the pass game.
Yep. I think you need to be all over McLaurin props today.
Yep.
You have.
Agreed.
He's he's arguably the best receiver on the field right now. Talent, AJ Brown. I think AJ Brown's great talent, but better receiver who's playing
right now.
better.
Right now, it's McLaurin. Yep.
Put it in reverse, Terry.
Put it in reverse.
Let's go. All right.
On the Eagles side, Devontae Smith over 45.5.
Hang on. What did you like about that? Because I that caught my eye as well, but I want to hear what you liked about that.
So Washington has been, their defense against the pass has not been great. I think what's his name is going to be on AJ Brown, who's the guy from the Saints they traded for.
Lattimore.
And man, 45 yards, he gets a couple targets. He's their guy. He's their big shot guy. And for whatever reason, AJ Brown, is just not. He had, I think, 2 targets last game?
It's snow game though. Snow game.
Yeah. But
he was behind 4 chapters in his book club. He had to catch up on the bench.
Yeah, well, he could sit on the bench and catch up on his reading while they run the rock. But again, they're only taking minimal. What did we say? 20 pass attempts last week or something for Hurts.
Yep.
And they've gonna be some big shots, and I think it's gonna go to Smith. So if he catches a couple of them, he's hitting that number.
I'm agreeing. I got some further breakdown on when we pull up my best bets.
And then Saquon Barkley, like Jake had, over 13.5 receiving. He catches one screen pass, one little dump off, one option right out of the backfield. And then Hurts over a half interception.
Yes.
Plus 136. Again, I'm just, maybe it's in my head the debacle that was the second half of the Eagles season last year. And I just don't think they're functioning offensively like they're in sync completely with the pass game. So just plus 136 on that. Throw a little bit on there. What we got here?
Shandicapper coming in
That-
from the frosted northern hemisphere. Hey, Shandicapper. Shannon, I've been big on kicker bets lately. Any suggestions for the first game? Are we feeling lots of field goals? Yeah, I mean, I think if you like these defenses to hold up and not give up touchdowns, which I am in favor of. I got a kicking bet for the next game. We don't do a lot of kicking bets, but one bet that I always see out there is over 1.5 field goals. It's typically priced minus 150 or below for good reason. The playoffs, I think teams are going to be trying to take the points, especially in an outdoor division game. Take the points when they can. Shan brings up a great point. Over 1.5. I could pull it up. Kev, what did you like about that Jalen Hurts interception? Just him chucking it or what?
Well, like I said, their offense with the receivers is just they don't throw it enough, and I just feel like they don't get in a rhythm. Kind of a dart toss here on an interception for him, plus money.
I saw it at plus 144 yesterday, so I don't know if we were looking at the same book or whatever we were checking out, but
I got this one fairly early.
Okay, so it could be even moving up higher. I like that bet today. I think Washington, without diving into their metrics too much on defense, they feel opportunistic, right? But now a big thing today too on Washington side, Payne is out. That does not bode well for them. Let's look at these kicking props. Kev, how do you feel about kicking props? Is something that you look at all?
Not typically, but like you said, if you've got these teams that either A, aren't super aggressive on fourth downs, or, they run the ball. A lot of these teams that run the ball kind of stall out in the red zone because they just don't have the passing game in that tight area. If you can find some of the matchups, like you said, if you go over 1.5, I mean, there's times when it seems like a good number. I typically stay away from it because I can already see the writing on the wall. I go take freaking Jake Elliott over 1.5. He hits the first one, he double doinks the second one. So.
Yeah, I'll find it. So Shandicapper, real quick, over 1.5 field goals for Philly. I got it at minus 125. Over 1.5 field goals for Washington is only minus 118. My site is not letting me parlay them right now because they're scared. But toss it in a parlay. I love the kicking props.
I like in this specific game, Washington goes for it on fourth down a ton. Them and the Lions, and the Lions were like the top percentages of hitting on fourth downs and going for it. And then Philly, Philly does the tush push. So if they get in, say they're at the 30, and it's a 4th and 2, 4th and 3 under, I just think they're going to go for it. I don't think they're going to kick it. So in this particular game, I might not like it. The Bills game, I might like it a little more, even though, same thing. Bills are going to go for it if they get in 4th and 2, but this Washington Philly game, I don't particularly like the kicking numbers.
Yes.
There we go.
Juice it up. So real quick, teams letting up the fewest fantasy football points to kickers, which is pretty much a direct correlation. The Eagles let up the fewest to kickers. The Bills let up the 3rd fewest to kickers, and Kansas City lets up the 5th fewest points to kickers. Washington, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 13th fewest points to kickers, if I'm seeing that right.
I'm not even sure what that means. I'm trying to figure out
So how many points? This is just a quick one that I found. This is fantasy now. It's points to kickers. So it's got PATs and field goals made, field goals over 50, that type of thing. Tread lightly. tread lightly. These aren't the teams that give up the most field goals, but they all have good field goal kickers. I love the field goal bets. You'll see one coming up here. Kev, would you mind pulling up my bets for this Eagles Commanders game? All of my bets are highlighted. They're all best bets.
All winners.
They're all best bets today, baby. 2 games before the Super Bowl. Don't hold anything back now. And I got to say, our Super Bowl prop show, dude, it might go 3 hours long. Okay? Especially if Jake doesn't have a fever in 3 weeks, it's going to be trouble. So I went with Austin Eckler, 28 receiving yards. I think Eckler could have a good game today. Now, the last time these two teams played, Eckler had a monster game. Actually, hang on. Yep, there it is. 8 for 89 last time these two teams played. But this number, what I like here, he went 4 for 41 versus Detroit. He went 3 for 26 versus Tampa Bay. We talked about Ertz maybe being a safety blanket, safety valve. Well, they love throwing the ball to Austin Eckler. Let's get Eckler back involved. He pretty much missed all of December. So he's starting to find his stride a little bit more.
You could tell in that game last week, he had a little more of that, that Chargers juice that he had for the handful of years with them. They actually ran the ball with him a couple times, and he had a couple nice runs, not just catching the ball. But, he's definitely going to be a weapon in this one. I agree with that. Good.
Shout out me. That's the only prop that I really liked on Washington. Now, we did talk about Scary Terry props. I'm just nervous, man. You like Washington, so it made sense that you had more Washington props. Dan loves Becky. Oh, sorry. Bills by a billion. Yep. Shout out Dan in the chat. If you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching on X, make sure you give us a like. Make sure you follow Do Champions on YouTube. Give the show a like everything. We appreciate it, guys. I'm a big fan of Austin Eckler today. They're going to need to pass the ball a little bit, and this defense on Philly is good, man. I like Eckler a lot today. You could even ladder this if you wanted to. I would endorse an Eckler ladder receiving yards. Eagles side, I'm on the Eagles -6 today. I think Washington's kind of Cinderella run comes to an end. Becky back in the chat. Shout out Denim Dan. Denim. I also like an Eagles under 53.5 teaser, 6-point teaser, -120. I like this a lot. One thing that I want to look up, I will in a minute here. I like Hurts, 32 rushing yards. He's done this, Kev, in 10 out of the last 11 games. The one game he didn't, I believe it was against Baltimore. And I think he went for 29 against Baltimore, and he had like 11 carries or something.
Are you worried about his knee? Are you worried about his knee? Didn't he? No. Okay.
No, I'm not worried about it because I don't know anything about it. So should I be?
He does having some knee issues.
What are you talking about?
I swear he got banged up. They got banged up last week. He's playing. He's whatever, but I could see them maybe
designations.
Not having maybe as many designated runs as he typically does, but
he went 7 for 70 last week and a touchdown.
Okay, I'm just telling you. He was a little sore, a little knee soreness after the game.
He had a 44-yard run. I'm good.
Okay.
The injury maybe came after that 44-yard run because he only got 26 yards on the ground after that. No, I don't know. I don't have all those stats in front of you. I just, it's something that he's hit 10 out of 11 games. The only game he hasn't was Baltimore. Give me Hurts, 32 rushing yards. And then Smith, Devonta Smith. So you got a better number. I got him at 50 plus receiving yards, 50 or more. He's done this in 4 of the last 5 games. The one game that he didn't, Kev, was that snow game last week against the Rams. And I think he still went like 4 for 44 in that game. So he's eclipsed the century mark of 100 twice. I think you can look at Smith receptions ladder or Smith receiving yards ladder. I think both those could be in play today. Jalen Hurts just seems to have a better rapport with Devontae Smith right now. I don't know why.
Devontae Smith has got his nose. He's got his nose in the playbook, not his motivational book. That's the difference.
He's one of the most sure-handed receivers too in the NFL. Now, I think against the Commanders, he did have a big drop against the Commanders, and Saquon Barkley the last time he had a big drop against the Commanders.
Oh yeah,
do you remember that?
Yeah,
dude. So sorry, I got stuff is falling down around me. My cardboard's falling down. Yeah, those are my bets I like today. Give me the Eagles. Full disclosure, and this isn't influencing any of my bets, but before the season started, I've got future bets on the Eagles and the Bills playing each other in the Super Bowl. Eagles beating the Bills was plus 13,000. Bills beating the Eagles was plus 11,500, I believe, before the season.
A good one.
It just makes the most sense, man. It just makes the most sense. What are we talking about? Yeah. All right. Next game up, Kev. 6:30 p.m. The Buffalo Bills travel to Kansas City. Last I saw, I had Buffalo +1, Kansas City -1, Buffalo +110, KC -130 to win straight up. And over under of 48.5. Wow, Jake did not hold back in this game. Yeah, much like Jake, I liked this game for props a lot more. Let's run through it. He's got Ty Johnson over 6.5 rush yards. I don't know where he found that number. It's an amazing number, though. If you could find Ty Johnson, anything under 10 yards, smash it. The Bills are going to try and run the ball today, dude. Ray Davis coming off, he played last week, coming off that concussion against Baltimore. Let's see, over 9.5 rush yards. I love that too. The Bills are going to get the rush game going with all three of these guys today. Jake likes Curtis Samuel over 15.5 receiving yards. I could see that. Tyler Bass over 6.5 points. I have that on my card too. Shout out us, Jake. Shout out Shandy Capper. Tyler Bass over 6.5 points today. He likes James Cook to get in the end zone +145. That is a crazy number. Curtis Samuel to get in the end zone +800, and Ty Johnson to get in the end zone +800. Yeah, I'm with you there, Jake. Kev, thoughts on these Bills bets?
Starting from the top, I mean, yeah, Ty Johnson 6.5.
That's crazy.
That seems just that's crazy low.
That's crazy.
Any running back who's going to get a carry in the Bills or Chiefs offense to only be at 6.5 is that's low. Hammer that.
We're going to talk more about that later in the show. We're going to talk more about that for sure.
What else? Tyler Bass. There's your kicker bet. Yep. Tyler Bass. I co-sign that one. What else we got here? James Cook. I've been on that a little bit. It's kind of bit me where Josh Allen has got some of them rushes inside of the 10 or whatever. But man, you get again, top running offense, the number one back +145 for a TD. I like the
crazy
number.
Dude. Didn't he lead the league in touchdowns or tied?
Tied for Barkley and Gibbs.
They've been giving it to other backs, but I mean, at that number, you have to take it, and you're going to see that most players have a pretty good number in this game. I think Josh Allen might be the only one that was minus. Sorry, dude. Was minus a number, and it was only -125, just because both these teams spread the ball out like crazy. So if you're playing touchdowns in this game today, good luck. On the KC side, he likes Worthy over 3.5 rush yards. I love that. We liked it last week. We like it this week. Now, he did get stopped behind the line of scrimmage. We got Sabes 9001 in the chat. Let's go. What up, Sabes? He got stopped behind the line of scrimmage last week, so he only got -8 yards. But I had a stat. Let me pull this up. When Worthy, let me find the game. Anytime that Worthy had as a carry, he hits that number of over 4.5 rush yards. So 10 out of the 12 games, Worthy has gotten one carry. He's gone over 4.5 rush yards. His number's at 3.5. I highly endorse that pick.
What you got
Shan in
here?
the chat. Oops, sorry, Kev. Over here rooting for what Nick calls the Curtis Samuel sightings, as I also bet on him. Yeah, we I don't know what the Bills. He's been like our little hidden secret. I know he dealt with a little bit of injuries this year, but this could be a Curtis Samuel game. It could be a Kincaid game. It could be a Keon Coleman game. You know, when every time I say this could be a this for the Bills, dude, it could be any of them.
You could make a decent argument for any of them, just because he could throw to any of them at any point on the field, inside the red zone, from their own end. So
exactly. So he's got Hopkins over 2.5 receptions plus 118. I really like that. He's got Hopkins over 23.5 yards minus 113. Those numbers are way too low. I absolutely love that. He's got Kareem Hunt over 35.5 rush yards. I love that. And he's also got Butker over 7.5 points. I love that. Dude, that is, what is that? 3 field goals. 3 field goals, he hits that. 2 field goals, 2 touchdowns, he hits that. 2 field goals and a touchdown. I mean, there's many different ways to get these kicking numbers. I'm just rambling at this point, but he's got Kelsey to get in the end zone plus 120, and he's got Worthy to get in the end zone plus 195. Kev, last thoughts on Jake's bets?
I was looking at this one because I thought I remembered this, but the Hopkins one, he had 0 catches last week in that Texans game. That one I'm just going to stay away from, because kind of to the point we talk about with the Bills, like Mahomes, if he gets a matchup he likes, he's going to go to it. So it could be Hopkins. It could be the tight. I tend to like the tight ends in this game. We'll talk about it a little bit, but in the middle of the field.
Same.
But yeah.
Okay. I dig it. Kev, why don't you run us through your bets? Buffalo Bills at the Kansas City Chiefs. Round number 4.
I got a little sneaky, a little crazy on a couple of these. We talked about it last week, trying to hit on some of these defensive stats, these sack numbers. So I threw a couple into this game.
Hell yeah.
I've got Ed Oliver over a half a sack, plus 350.
Okay.
He's just got to be, at one time, he's just going to come right up the middle and be right in Mahomes' face. Ed Oliver is really freaking good, man. He
is.
When he came out before the draft that year, he was the top guy at Houston. He had a little bit of issues with the coaching staff at Houston. And kind of didn't come in quite as highly touted in that year as they thought, but he has turned into a great D tackle.
Small with short arms, who is not someone that the Bills, most teams, small guys, short arms, but he's an athletic freak, and he's been playing lights out. This is our Achilles heel, Kev, is our defensive line in the playoffs. Are you going to show up? This is the game to do it.
Plus 350. There you go.
I love that.
James Cook over 55.5 rushing. The worry on this obviously is they've got 3 backs. They give it to Josh Allen also. So, but again, starting running back numbers 55. I'll take it.
We talked Cole, about it. What did Mixon go for? Over 100 last week?
100, yeah.
They don't run it like the Bills do, but still, we could run on this Kansas City team, right? Take away what's perceived as one of their strengths, run it right down their throat. We just did it against Baltimore last week, right?
These teams that have strengths in the regular season, the regular season, you're a top 5 against the run, you're top whatever. That's great. That's awesome. Dude, it's the playoffs. You are playing against the best teams left. Just because, the Chiefs play the Raiders twice, they play, the defenses in this game, these playoff games, it changes a little bit in my opinion, because you've got typically great quarterback play. These teams specifically all have great running backs. So, yeah, these two teams will just go at it. The stats for a season, they mean something, but maybe not as much in the playoffs to me.
Yeah.
Cole Bishop coming off the bench over a half interception.
Let's go, Kev.
Plus
Kev, a man of the
624.
people.
Plus 624. Let's go with the rook here, Cole Bishop. Over. Let's pick off Mahomes, make his year right here.
Dude.
And
Elam had one less 2 years ago, maybe regular season. Elam had one against KC, I believe.
Here we go. Mahomes has not turned the ball over as of late, as you know, we kind of talked about, but let's get one here. And then lastly, Keon Coleman over 20.5 receiving yards. I think Josh is going to have to take a couple shots down the field on these corners for KC, and if he's going to, this guy's going to get a couple of them. So if he catches one of them, it's probably going to be for over 20 yards. So
yep, I fully endorse that. Let's see right here, his longs. Last 2 games in the playoffs, not great, but he's only had 1 catch, 5 yards. Before that, longs of 20, 14, 17. So give me that all day, Kev. 31 yards, 27 yards, 17 yards. He just needs a couple targets, man.
Yep. Okay. Chiefs. Kelsey, anytime touchdown, plus 120. Yep. These Bills defense is probably going to be vulnerable in the middle of the field. So him, Noah Gray, are going to get their targets, probably going to get their yards, and you know where he's going in the red zone. To get back on these D tackles and the sacks, I got Chris Jones over a half sack, plus 152. Again,
big number.
You know, plus 150 for, you know, the best D tackle on their team. When he's rolling, he causes havoc. So, Noah Gray over 1.5 receptions, plus 100. He always seems to get a couple catches in the game. So we'll again roll this. I think the middle of the field, Mahomes is going to work.
Yep.
So I like both these tight ends. I would probably endorse a Noah Gray anytime touchdown also.
Plus 400.
In this. Yeah. And then lastly, Patrick Mahomes over half interception, plus 110. This is just my pure hatred for the Chiefs and Mahomes, and he just needs to throw an interception. Hopefully to Cole Bishop. It'll be good.
I love that. I love that a lot. All right. I'm with you for that. The Chris Jones one worries me a little bit. Josh Allen, least sack quarterback, I think, in the NFL. His mobility, our offensive line, bunch of animals. But it's Chris Jones, man. If it's plus 150, why not? I'm with you there. Noah Gray over 1.5 receptions at plus 100, I think is criminal. You could play a little ladder there if you wanted. I could see him going for maybe 4 or 5 catches in this game. Kelsey, anytime touchdown. Yep, it's Travis Kelsey in the playoffs, dude. He's plus money. Take it. And then Mahomes over half interception. If you hit that and the Bishop one, I wonder if you just parlay those together, dude. Bing bong. Okay.
That'll work.
I love it.
All right.
Pull it up, Kev.
What we got cooking? What we got?
What we got cooking. Let's go. Buffalo Bills on the money line, plus 110. It's our fucking year, Kev. It's our fucking year.
I'm on board.
Let's go.
I am on board.
What is ours? Go and take what is ours. Buffalo Bills team total over 23.5. I think they sail over this number. I think they could score 30 points today. Kansas City, not great against tight ends. Now, I was on Kincaid last week. There's been several games that I've been on Kincaid, and they just have not come to fruition. I like it today. I think Knox had 40 yards against them last time we played because Kincaid was out. Kincaid's back, man. People are forgetting. We didn't have some guys versus Baltimore. Dude, we didn't have some good guys versus Kansas City last time. We didn't have Keon Coleman. We didn't have Kincaid, right? We smashed them. We're going to smash them today.
Smash. Smash.
Kincaid to get at least 34 receiving yards today. Kincaid over 3.5 receptions. Knox to get 17 receiving yards today. Ty Johnson, see, the number I had was 11. He's done this in 5 out of the last 5 games. He had 31 versus Baltimore. He had 44 versus Denver. Teams that have good run defenses. Ray Davis, 10 rush yards. He's done this in 3 out of the last 5. He had 29 versus Baltimore. This could be one rush for the kid. He's coming back from his concussion. He's feeling better. Give me Ray Davis, 10 rush yards, man. I think we're going to run it all over him today. I like these guys. I like their lower numbers. That's the only reason I didn't play Cook. That's the only reason I didn't play Allen. Everyone could eat, man. That's what we do here. Everyone could, everyone does. Everyone eats, man. Tyler Bass over 6.5 points. Several touchdowns, a field goal. We're there, dude. Let's go. I think the Bills are going to put some points up today. Kareem Hunt, 37 rush yards. He's done this in 3 out of the last 4 games. He had 44 versus Houston. I think Houston's rush defense is probably better than ours. I don't know what's up with Pacheco. He did break his leg. That has probably something to do with it, right? He's a running back. Broke his leg during the season. Might have a little bit.
And he's back.
Yeah, exactly. So now Mahomes over 248 passing yards. I think KC is going to be down. I think that you can throw on this Buffalo defense. We saw Lamar do it. We saw Bo Nix did in the first drive, right? I think Mahomes gets to 250 passing yards today in a losing effort. Xavier Worthy, longest reception over 19.5. He had a 21-yard reception versus Houston. He had a 21-yard reception versus Pittsburgh, the last couple of games that he played in. Very attainable number here. Think of Troy Franklin on Denver. Think of Rashad Bateman last week. We could give that up to Worthy. I could just picture a big Worthy catch. Now, if Mahomes is passing for 250, just like I was on the Jaden Daniels passing ladder last week, and all the guys, someone's got to catch these balls. Someone has to get these receiving yards, right? Someone has to get them, Kev. Kelsey, 72 receiving yards. That's a high number. We smashed all Kelsey's props last week. Over 5.5 receptions, over 55.5 yards, touchdown. We hit them all last week. We had the Kelsey ladder, right? We smashed Kelsey left, right, and center last week. We cashed out straight to the bank. No one to blame. 72 is a big number, but it's the playoffs, dude. Playoffs, what is it? What is it?
Playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs?
You kidding me?
You kidding me?
Worthy, 52 receiving yards, man. Worthy has been he's been an animal. They're incorporating him now. Hopkins, 25 receiving yards. That's a low number. Jake likes it. I like it. And then Brown, 40 receiving yards. I'm taking them all, man. I think Mahomes is going to be – I don't think they're going to be able to run the ball on us. I truly don't. The Hunt, 37 rush yards. If Hunt ended the game of 40 yards rushing, we're going to say, yep, they couldn't run the ball on us, and we hit our bet, right? So this is the way I think the game is going to play out today, Kev.
You know what? Kareem Hunt reminds me of back in Corey Dillon when he came to the Patriots, or just
why?
He's like a veteran guy who nobody thinks is great, but he hops on these playoff teams.
Okay.
And he just he's fairly effective. You know what I mean?
Not Dillon, dude. No. LeGarrette Blount, dude.
Same thing. Yep.
Dude,
Kevin
I was watching. I was watching Priest Holmes, dude, when he played for the Chiefs.
Dude, crazy.
That dude was a freak, man. He's
short
all over the field.
That short stretch with him with Trent Green.
Yeah,
dude, he was tough.
We got some ladder bets coming up, Kev. But before we get away from this game, Buffalo Bills, key to victory today. We talked about it before the show, Kev. Kansas City has won 16 straight one-score games.
That's insane.
They're frauds, dude. I don't care if they've been to 7 AFC championship games in a row, dude. I don't care if they won 2 Super Bowls in a row. This is the most fraudulent 7-time in a row AFC championship team that I've ever seen, Kev. Key to victory today. Don't let it be a one-score game. Don't let it be a one-score game. Shove it down their throat. No mercy. Take the governor off Josh Allen today. I want to see, dude, hang a fucking 50 burger on him today. Bury him, dude. I don't ever want to see him again. I don't want to see him again. Put him out of their misery. They're going to be firing Andy Reid after this game, dude. That's how bad it's going to be. Kid could dream. A kid could dream.
Yeah.
Frauds, dude. Kansas City barbecue sucks. Anyways, let's keep it moving. You want to grace us with your ladder play?
Yeah. I got a ladder here. Scary Woo! Terry, 65 again. If they're gonna throw it at all, Terry's the guy who's getting the bulk of these and the downfield. So starting off 65 receiving yards at -121, and we're all plus money after that. 75 yards gets you to 116. 85 yards is plus 159, and 95 yards get you to plus 219. 105 yards get you to plus 301. There was a couple rungs in there I skipped and went straight to the top. The max number there was on my site was 145 receiving yards at plus 1245. So
let's go.
Scary Terry going off today and upsetting the Eagles. How about that?
I like his bottom couple rungs. So he went for 87 against Detroit on 6 targets. He went for 89 on 10 targets against Tampa Bay. So them first 3 rungs are tasty. I like it a lot, Kev. I'm with you there, man. Full endorsement. I'm with you. I'm going to pull up, let's see, my first one. Let's go Ty Johnson rushing yards, Kev. Ty Johnson rushing yards. Like I said, if you like a ladder bet, okay, the bottom rung of the ladder should be enough to cover every other wager on the ladder and then some, right? For instance, if you're betting $20 on 11 rush yards, then make sure you don't bet more than 15 between your next 4 rungs of this play, okay? I love Ty Johnson to get at least 11 rushing yards today. I like him to get 21 at plus 196. How about 31? Look at this jump. 31 yards.
490. Oh, wow.
He did this the last 2 games. He had 31 versus Baltimore. He had 44 versus Denver. 41 yards plus 1,097. How about Ty Johnson just to rip one off to the house today? 51 yards plus 3,028. The value. I know if Jake was sleeping, Jake just woke up, dude. He
woke up. Yep.
His laddie senses are tingling right now, dude. Jake's going to be in the chat. I can feel it here in a little bit, dude. Yeah, I'm going with Ty Johnson rush yards. Now, I also talked about tight ends, Kev. I talked about tight ends in this game. I like both of our tight ends in this game. Kansas City, not great against the tight end at all. I think we attack him there. And I think, Kincaid has been awfully quiet, right? Kincaid to get 34 receiving yards today, minus 121. Let's go. 44 plus 131, 54 plus 202, 64 plus 316. Kincaid legacy game, 74 yards plus 501. I think it's very attainable, man. I think it's very attainable. Now, Knox went for 40 by himself against KC last time. Just to repeat that, you hit this little step stool down here. 17 minus 114, 27 receiving yards plus 145, 37 receiving yards plus 238. I think we get it to the tight ends early and often when we're not running the ball. It's going to open up some shots down the field when we're running it. Josh does look to Kincaid down the field a little bit too, right? So
yeah, I like the first 2 rungs of both of these.
Good.
The way they spread it.
I do too. Let's see, what has Kincaid done for us recently? Against Denver, Kincaid went 3 for 47. Okay. Against Detroit, Kincaid went 4 for 53, long of 29. Against Denver is a long of 35. We did not involve him as much in that New England, that New York Jets, or that Baltimore game. He only had 2 targets, right? Get this man the ball today. Get him the ball. He's now by, I think for everyone in Bills Mafia, I think by our standard, he had a down year. But it's just because we did not expect, the Keon Colemans, the Curtis Samuels, the Shakir volume. Everyone thought it was going to be like a Kincaid funnel offense, and it wasn't. He's got 53 and 52. He's gone over 50 and 51. So he's gone over 53 times this year. I think it's now or never, right?
I think it's just that you talk about him maybe having a down year to most people, but when you're playing in an offense like this, the way that Allen is playing, nobody is going to have week in, week out good games. You're going to have, Kincaid show up one week. You're going to have Amari Cooper show up another week. You're going to have Shakir show up. Shakir's probably the most consistent week-to-week guy of them.
Yeah.
But the way they run their offense, you're never going to have a guy, in my opinion, that is going to just completely be a stat stuffer every week. It just won't happen, which is good, though. That's a good thing.
First team in NFL history, 30 rushing touchdowns, 30 passing touchdowns, right? We're coming at you from all angles in Buffalo. All right, man. I got a couple other bets here. Otis, I know. Kincaid over 200 yards receiving. Alt line.
Check. Yeah.
I thought Bond was going to come in with the Raiders money line, dude. That's what I was waiting for. I was waiting for the Raiders money line. I know the Shandy Cappers at home watching with Otis right now. Otis tweeted our gambling group chat. Tight end parlay. Tight end parlay this week, Kev, is juicy. Zach Ertz, Dallas Goedert, Travis Kelce, Dalton Kincaid, all to score a touchdown, plus 13,500. If you just like Kelce and Kincaid, which I like, plus 850. Plus 850 for both tight ends to score in that game. I think that's amazing, dude. I got a couple other bets here. The Neffy teasers and parlays. Dude, my book won't let me do 10-point teasers anymore.
Nope.
They got sick of losing. What's up with that?
You think that's a playoff thing, or it didn't start to the playoffs?
Playoffs?
Playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs?
Yeah, they took that 10-point tease off the board when the playoffs started, I think.
They're scared.
They're scared.
I am while I'm teasing these teams. So we went with the 7-point tease last week. We're gonna do it again this week.
I got the same. I did it.
Got the same teaser?
Yep.
Washington plus 13, Buffalo plus 8, Buffalo, Kansas City over 41.5, plus 130. How about a little first touchdown parlay? Get the QBs involved. Hurts and Allen each to be the first touchdown scorers, plus 4,700. Juicy. This next one is these are all alt lines. These are tackles plus assists, so total tackles for guys in the defense. Chin 6, Luvu 7, Milano 5, Bolton 6, Bernard 8. These are alt lines, mind you, right? So a lot of running the ball expected. Plus 425. You would expect that number to be much higher there.
I was going to say, I thought that number would be higher.
They're all alt. No, those are all alt numbers. I know. Which the Milano and the Bernard one, we'll see. We'll see. How about a receptions parlay? Give me Barkley 2, Zacchaeus 2, Eckler 3, Kincaid 3, Knox 2, and Worthy 5, plus 1,100. Now I got a couple long shots here, a couple of Jake specials, a couple touchdown parlays. Zacchaeus, Allen, Hunt, Kelce, Kincaid, and Worthy all to get in the end zone, plus 77,200. And then how about A.J. Brown, Kelsey, Kincaid, Coleman, and Worthy plus 30,900. Long shots, Kev. Long shots.
Love them.
Earlier on my card, you saw that I played the Kansas City receivers. If you parlay all four of those, so Kelsey, 72 receiving yards, Worthy, 52 receiving yards, Hopkins, 25 receiving yards, and Brown, 40 receiving yards. Everybody eating plus 1,500. Last but not least, Kev, how about Greg Russo? Third leg Greg coming in today, getting a sack on Mahomes, plus 120. 2 sacks for third leg Greg. Groot. 2 sacks plus 700. That's it, Kev.
Like it.
Hayes in the barn,
Like
man. 2 games. We went for an hour talking about 2 games. We're going to go for 2 hours for the Super Bowl, dude. I know it. I just know it.
We're gonna have to start on some of these Super Bowl prop bets as soon as these games are over tonight.
First bet for the Super Bowl. First bet for the Super Bowl. The line's already out, dude. Give me heads minus 105.
Tails. Tails never
show
fails.
bet. Show
Tails
bet.
never fails.
Show bet. Take it, Kev.
Show bet on the
bet.
coin toss.
Think about it. We'll make sure you tune in Tuesday at 9 p.m. to see if Kevin accepts the show bet on the coin toss for the Super Bowl. You're not going to get Pinto Rond. Let's play that clip, Kev. Will you play the Pinto Matt clip? If you're not familiar, guys, we were just in our group chat talking shit as we do. Matt expressed his love for the Steelers to win outright this weekend in Baltimore, to which I replied, show bet. Immediately had to hop on that. The value was way
good job,
Matt. Value is way too good. If you listen to No One to Blame, you know that we've been wanting to do a Pinto Ron bet for the longest time. If you're not familiar with Pinto Ron, if you're not in Bill's Mafia, Pinto Ron gets covered with ketchup and mustard at every single tailgate before the game. Show bet one more time. Matt has got the Pittsburgh Steelers to win outright. I've got the Baltimore Ravens to win outright. Loser will get Pinto Ron live on air once the weather hits 50 degrees in Buffalo, New York, wearing the other team's jersey. Matt, it's a bet.
It's a bet. We got to remember though, Zay Flowers is out this week, and you got to remember Mike Tomlin's record against Baltimore in the playoffs.
Yep, and you got to remember that Pittsburgh blows.
Didn't mean to cut you off there.
No, it's perfect. It's perfect.
Real question. Pinto Ron. He does the stuff pregame.
500 games in a row, I believe he hit this year.
Does he have tickets to the game?
I think if I had to guess.
Or is he a tailgate guy?
Good question. It's a good question.
Is he a tailgate guy?
So we would earlier when I had season tickets, like 16 years ago, we tailgated on the opposite side of the stadium, but we would walk because they also have this bowling ball. This is pre-COVID, mind you, that they just fill up with like schnapps or something, and everyone takes a shot. Thousands of people taking shots out of this bowling ball beforehand.
That's where COVID came from.
That's where COVID probably started. No, man, it's a good question. I'd have to assume that that he does, but he doesn't go in covered in ketchup and mustard, obviously.
That's what I'm like, dude. So to your point with Matt taking the 50-degree caveat, like Pinto Ron goes and gets covered and it's snowing and it's raining. You know.
Yeah, I think Matt's kind of being a little bit of a coward, dude, if I'm being honest with you, with that stipulation. 50 degrees outside. Dude, get 4 of your friends, including Student, to cover you in ketchup and mustard, and then go inside and take a shower, dude. Pay your bet, Matt. We want it. We want it now. The people want it.
We'll see if he was laying low in the chat. That'll bring him out.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if he's watching the show or not. That's what we talked about, man. We talked about it already. Buffalo Bills, man. Go and slay the dragon today. Go and slay the dragon. Kyle Brandt put together an awesome video with Rocky and he's got Mahomes training in all these like high-tech gyms, and Kyle Brandt's outside dressed like Rocky, dude. Just the whole montage. It's incredible. If there was ever a time, it's now. Get the monkey off your back, dude. Shake the narrative. Now is the time. We're back. AFC Championship game, man. It's been since COVID, I believe. I think it was 2020, 21, 22, 20, or 2021. And they beat us by 2 touchdowns. We've lost to the Chiefs the last 3 times we played them in the playoffs, man. Now is the time.
No, this is Josh Allen is playing as well as he's ever played. He's not turning the ball over. He's playing the right. He's playing. This is the best version of him. If that defense is opportunistic, get a couple turnovers, and hey, give me the Bills by 2 scores, dude. I mean, I know that sounds crazy, and it's Patrick Mahomes, but Bills are the better team. So.
Kev, before we get out of here, let's pull up our DFS. We did do DFS lineups, 2 games. Throw it on loop for us. Kev, let's buzz through your whole team real quick. Go ahead.
Okay, quarterback got Jaden Daniels plus 8,300. Saquon Barkley 9,800. Pacheco 5,500. Wide receivers, I got Keon Coleman, Scary Terry, Devontae Smith. We talked about a lot of them names in the prop bets. And then tight end, I had to go with Kelsey just because he's going to get his. And Goddard is in my flex. Went the double tight end there, and then Washington defense. They were the cheapest on the board. Let's roll with that.
Yeah, they made it tricky this week. I went Josh Allen. I think Josh Allen can do it through the air, on the ground today. He can get in the end zone. Barkley 9,800 goes without saying. Best player probably on the board. I went with Eckler, dude. I think Eckler could have some success catching the ball today. I had to go cheaper as I paid up for a couple other guys. I went with Shakir. He's been Josh's safety blanket. I think he's went at least 6 for 60 in the past 2 games. AJ Brown, this is just a squeaky wheel, gets the grease type of play here, man. And he went for 100 yards the last 2 times these 2 teams played. Zacchaeus, we're back on the Zacchaeus. Had to go cheap again. Kincaid and Kelsey, I talked about my love for them today. And then Bills defense, man. How about a Patrick Mahomes turnover? Jake went with Josh Allen, Saquon Barkley, Jimmy Cooks, Khalil Shakir, his boy Diami Brown, Xavier Worthy, Kelsey, Eckler, and then the commies on defense. I dig it. We've had at least 1, I think 2 out of 3 of these lineups have cashed in the last several weeks. We've been dialed in with the ladders, with the bets. We talked about last week how many bets that we had last week, and where did I go? I went 37 and 20 on those bets last week. 57 bets, 37 and 20. We're out here casting wide nets, people. No one to blame. Kev, I got a couple basketball bets today at @do_Neffy if you want to go see them. Some of them have already tipped off at noon. Small slate. The basketball is going to be cooking up, though. We're going to be cooking up some golf Tuesdays, 9 p.m. No one to blame. Make sure you tune in. Kev, Hayes in the barn, brother. Let's do it.
Yeah, man. Playoffs. Let's roll.
Go Bills. Now or never, baby. Peace.
For the best Italian food in Western New York, Elliot Apollo's. Call 716-825-3675. The Lardon Construction Group.
Fubo TV, the official streaming service of Do Champions. FanDuel, the official sportsbook of Do Champions.
For all your summertime needs, beauty pools, as well as kayak pools.
CX Chronicles, your total customer solutions focused manager. W.GG, the official energy drink of Do Champions.
Hey, Sons of Erie. Our artwork looks better on your walls. Hamburg Brewing, please visit our tap room on Boston State Road, Hamburg, New York. And finally,
Fat Boy Surf Club for all your surfing needs.
No One to Blame is sponsored by Altered Grounds Landscaping, the area's top professional landscape company. They're family-owned and operated business serving St. Louis and the Metro East for 20-plus years. Their mission is to make your home or business stand out from the rest. They offer free consultations year-round. Get $300 off your project of $3,000 or more with code AGNOTB. That's code AGNOTB. They're booking pools for the upcoming summer season. So if you're having any thoughts about getting a pool for this upcoming summer, stay ahead of the game and contact them now for any of your pool project needs.
There's no one to blame, there really is no one to blame. But I swear to God, it's my fucking fault. It's a better sports podcast. It's my fucking fault, but there's no one to blame. Neffy Kevin do. Neffy Kevin do.
Do it.
Kevin,
Don't listen to what I say or whatever kind of peer pressure I'm telling you.
Do it! Oh, fucking do it again!
I know there's really nobody to blame for this but myself. Well, I don't know, maybe the Buffalo Bills, the Boston Red Sox, or Mr. T, or the Jets.
Wait a minute, Mr. T, are you telling me that you bet on the fight in Rocky 3 and that you bet against Rocky?
Hindsight is 20/20, my friend.